Each year, Therapeutic Riding of Tucson relies on volunteers to help some very special people, but this year, the organization is still in desperate need of those volunteers. Here to discuss what they do and how you can lend a hand is Program Director Sandy Webster and Volunteer Coordinator Becky Noel. Thank you both so much for joining me this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Alex.
So great to have you. So if people haven't heard of TROT before, tell us what you guys do there.
Well, we utilize the movement of horses to impact people physically, cognitively, socially, and emotionally. And those people are children, teens, and adults who have disabilities, or they're working on social interaction, or they're working on improving their lives every day. And we use riding skills to help accomplish that in their everyday lives.
Incredible, the power of a horse, isn't it? Just like the top of the show said, not only the physical capability of the horse, but the emotional way in which humans can connect with them. And so, of course, you're a nonprofit. You rely heavily on the support and the donations from the community. How has the community stepped up to help you guys?
Well, number one is that we keep our costs down and make it affordable for people to ride who really need us to improve their lives by volunteering. And by volunteering, we have a tiny staff that is very professional, but we're assisted by up to 3 volunteers for every single rider. And right now we have 84 riders. So that's a lot of volunteers.
That's right.
And it's an investment of their time, but we also train them to be able to be really good at what they do. And they take home a really big reward themselves.
Definitely. And we were talking a little before the segment, you're about 40 volunteers short right now. So you need a lot of people to come help you, a lot of well-wishing, talented people to come lend you a hand, like I said. And so, Becky, talking about what it takes to become a volunteer at TROT, what's the training like for that?
Well, we have an orientation on a Monday evening, so we can capture everybody that's maybe working during the day or whatever. And then that following Saturday, we have training in the morning, where it's a hands-on training along with videos and other, types of training that comes along with that. And then they are scheduled. We try to do a block of time, so maybe 2 hours every time. But we'll even take people if they can only come out and volunteer with us for an hour. But you develop that relationship with the rider, and the rider grows to depend on you. So like if you don't show up one day, the rider's like, where's Becky? Where's Becky? Because they learn to rely on you and trust you, and you develop that rapport as a team.
It's part of that partnership. I mean, it's the horse, it's the volunteer, it's the person that you're helping, and as a volunteer yourself, we were seeing some of the video there. What's it like to volunteer? How does it feel? What are the reviews that you've gotten from people?
It's absolutely amazing. When I've been volunteering out there for almost, a little over 5 years now, and we call it a magical place because you can have a headache, you can be in a bad mood, and the minute you come out there and you start seeing the smiles on these people's faces and these children and how it affects them and how happy they are to be there and how that helps them get out of their shell, it's magical. Everything that you might be dealing with goes away, and you focus on their happiness and their needs and their wants.
You can escape the realities of everyday life, even if for just a moment.
Oh, absolutely. And you leave with everything else that you were thinking of when you first got there. It's gone.
Hence the therapeutic part of the name.
Bingo, for both rider and volunteer.
That's right.
It should be therapeutic for every volunteer, so that they go away, they leave their job for the day, and they can feel really good about giving back to the community. And there's a lot of people who have never worked with horses before, and we do all the training. We have a herd of very special horses. We have 11 horses that are trained specifically for working with children and adults with disabilities. And you can see in the video, people are doing leading and sidewalking, but you can see as much fun that they're having as the riders themselves. And many of the riders that we have go away with a whole different perspective because of the relationships with the volunteers.
Wow, such smart animals, those horses.
Oh, absolutely.
They are.
Many memorable success stories have come out of TROT, I'm sure. One just this morning, actually, that you said you're extremely excited about. I want to hear the story. What happened this morning?
Well, we have a veteran program, and we try to empower the veterans, give them a really good social community to come to. When they come to TROT, it needs to be a welcoming place. We have a cantina, so they get a good meal for the day, as well as all the volunteers are very much on their side and getting them to come out from home. But today we had a really special moment, and we have had one of our veterans who's been in one of the psychotherapy programs who has been afraid of any heights, even going up a couple of stairs. And today he was empowered by the volunteers and all the other veterans and walked up 2 steps and mounted his horse and rode for 45 minutes with the rest of the team. And the rest of the team, both volunteers and other veterans, were so moved by that. It was a pretty teary experience for everybody, but good tears and so much motivation. And he left saying, I know where I can go to my happy place, and I'll be back next week.
If you could see my arms right now, you'd see goosebumps. I'm getting chills.
It's a huge accomplishment. I mean, 2 steps to that person was astronomical.
A mile.
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
It was just 2 steps to you and me is a mile to him. What an incredible, that's just one of the stories too. So who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I'm going to get them out there to be part of this, to become volunteers, because it's it's a movement is really what it is. So thank you both so much for what you're doing, and thank you for coming on for just a moment to tell me about it.
Thank you for having us.
Alex.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Anytime. For more information on Therapeutic Riding of Tucson, visit trotarizona.org or call 520-749-2360.